Shout out to the flesh and blood out there. Shout out to the content creators showing up day after day. Real people, looking at real desks, working at real desks, making real content. Um, I know what the technology is. I know how to use it. This is kind of what I do for a living, so I recognize and I understand what's going on. But as an artist, you got to put a real thumbprint to it. This ain't the Matrix. Um, and what I'm seeing is more and more people, or I shouldn't say that, more and more content is going strictly AI. Strictly AI. And you know what? Guys like me, guys like KSAP, G Bush, people, real flesh and blood folks. Is it getting harder and harder to tell who's real and who's fake? Cue up that song. Um, but I just thought I'd drop a little note because I was watching. I'm a former Eagles, but I'm an Ohio boy. So I watch my Bengals, I watch the Browns, and I saw this video today about the Browns, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right with this. And I'm looking at it, and this just hit me kind of like a ton of bricks. So I'm looking at it, right, and I'm like, this is fake. This is all fake. AI voice probably had Chat GPT or Gemini write a script. Probably got on VO3 or Nano Banana or one of these sites and created a bunch of clips to make videos, um, and put all of this together. And I was like, wait a minute, why is it something ain't right? So FYI for all the people out there, number one, support real live content creators. Flesh and blood is what I'm calling it and what I will continue to call it going forward. Support the flesh and blood content creators that are really doing it. Number two, here's what you do to figure out if something is real or fake, right? It's getting harder and harder to tell, but again, I'm in the business, so I can see these things. So check this out. Number one, um always, let me see if I can, always look at the background. Always look at the background. Can I zoom in on this? I want to see if I can zoom in on this, if it'll let me. Always look at the background. Check this out. Nah, it's not gonna let me get any closer, but check this out. Look at the books. So you got to look past the obvious. Look at the jersey, Cleveland Browns. The poster, Sanders jersey in the backfield, Cleveland Browns. Pennant on the wall, Cleveland Browns. I don't even know who this is. Is that maybe Brian Sipe or something? I don't know. Right. So you see Cleveland Browns, you see the NFL logo right here in the corner, right? But you got to look past the obvious. The eye is going to go to the Cleveland Brown stuff because you can read it. Browns, BROWNS. You can read that. But look at the books over here. Every one of these books, that's gibberish. That's gibberish. Maybe this says propose, PROPPNRS. Like, it's gibberish. All of these books are gibberish. But this is the Browns, the coffee cup is what you're gonna focus in on. You see what I'm saying? Um, Look at the logo on the microphone. What is this? That's gibberish. It's just like it's ipsum unum. It's the eye is supposed to look at it and say, "Oh, there's letters, there's a logo there," but you're not going to pay too much attention to it. So you keep moving, right? It's gibberish. So just a couple telltale signs. I'm trying to look at more books. Look up that top shelf. You got another NFL logo. It's easy to tell what that is, but when you look at any of the book labels, anytime you look at AI images, look at the details in the background. AI still has a very, very difficult time filling in that information. So you can always tell by looking at it. We're past the days where they would make people, like actual people had like 6 and 7 fingers and stuff like that because it couldn't interpret it. But it gets better and better. So you got to be on the lookout. You got to know what you're looking for. So that's the first thing. Now, watch this as I play this. Let me turn this off because I don't want to hear it, but I want to play this video. Look at his eyes. The eyes and the hand movement, they're just going to repeat. Now the mouth is on point. The mouth is moving and is in sync. If you know anything about animation and how cartoons animate, they animate phonetics. A-E-I-O-U, and those sounds can formulate almost any word. But if you look at the eye blinks, you look at the hand movements, they are on continued loop. Does like that, put his hand back together, puts his hand back together, puts his hand back together. The eye, look at his eye blinks. The eye blinks go forward and then they go backwards because it's a regular speed. Then it reverses it, so it's like he closes his eyes and opens his eyes slowly. That's just putting the video in reverse. But that's just the computer doing that to interpolate what an eye blink would look like. But look, the hand's still the same. The head movement is exactly the same, and the eye blinks are exactly the same. And it just keeps repeating itself and running it back, repeating itself and running it back. So yeah, I'm a nerd about shit like this, man. So I'm always on the lookout because I'm like, listen, I'm putting in work. I'm putting in work, and you see people like this, and it's gonna be it's coming. Oh, I shouldn't say it's coming. It's here. We still didn't get away from damn. Even the AI get ads, but it's here, and it's getting better and better to the point where if you're not somebody like me with experience in graphic design and graphic arts and things of that nature, you're not going to notice this stuff. I do. I'm looking for it. I'm actively looking for it. Because me, as somebody that's flesh and blood, that's content creator doing work, putting in work, I refuse to just do everything with AI. I do some stuff. To me, AI is an assistant. AI is an accent, an addendum. You add, AI should add to your work. AI shouldn't be your work. I came up in a different era, so I grew up in the 70s. We didn't have computers. I say this all the time. I grew up on hose water and freeze tag. We went outside to play. We couldn't ask a computer. We had to walk our ass to the library, look up the Dewey Decimal System, find the book, check it out, read it, make note. We had to do it the hard way, but we learned shit. Now these kids ain't got to do it. I'm not old dude. Get off my lawn. So, but yeah, man, I thought this was interesting. This pops up because I'm watching Cleveland Browns content with Shador and stuff like that. So this just popped up, and I was like, "What is this guy saying?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, this ain't right." So just a FYI, support the flesh and blood content creators because we putting in work, we putting in time, and we give you the best content. You know what's coming from somebody with an opinion. You know what's coming from somebody that put in a little time and a little homework. You know what I'm saying? I liken this to, you never did any work on the project, but you want to stand up in front of the class and get a presentation like you did. That's what using AI is like. So be on the lookout. Be aware of what you're watching, because if they can do something like this with something simple as commentary on the Cleveland Browns and Shador Sanders, what happens when it becomes something important? And the mass majority of people can't tell the difference. If you never saw this video, would you know this was fake? That's my point. It's going beyond. It's not. It's going to get beyond. It's already past. And the majority of the people are behind the eight ball because they don't know the difference. And quite honestly, they're probably not even looking. So keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eye on your luggage. Coach out.